Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fossil Ridge High School. We welcome our guests, the Thornton Trojans, in this matchup against our PSD Stars. Good luck to both teams. Our school district, the Front Range League and Colorado High School Activities Association, believes there's an educational value in our athletics program. One of the most important objectives is good sportsmanship. We believe that winning is important, but not more important than dignity and honor. Cheer enthusiastically for your team and show respect and sportsmanship throughout this contest. Please refrain from criticisms of officials, negative cheers, chants, or behaviors. By your conduct, allow players to feel pride in their school and community. We appreciate your sportsmanship and cooperation. Please try to clean your areas and make sure trash gets in the trash cans. And now rise and remove your headgear for the playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the boys varsity volleyball game, live from Fossil Ridge High School. Tonight, the PSD Stars will be taking on the Thornton Trojans in an intense varsity volleyball game. Welcome to the show.
Yes, as you heard, ladies and gentlemen, from my co-host Josie Brown, welcome to the show. We have a good one here for you tonight. A matchup of 5 games. Winner takes all in this varsity volleyball game of the Thornton Trojans and the PSD Stars. Now, here's some stats. We have the PSD Stars coming off a win, 3-0 against Mountain with an overall record currently of 72 with a 70% win rate. And we have Thornton coming in with a win, again 3-0, against Riverdale Ridge with an overall record of 5-2 with a 71% win rate. Now, like I said earlier, we have 5 matches that make up our game tonight. And best of 3 out of 5 will take it all. All right, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dave Shaw. I will be your play-by-play commentator tonight for these 5 matches, 5 games that make up our match tonight. Like I said, best of 3. Best out of those 5, those 3 wins. Winner takes all. Currently, we have the teams getting hyped up for their performances tonight. We just see a lot of team morale, and we see a lot of team chemistry within both teams. We have the PSD Stars high-fiving each other, having a fun time, getting engaged. We have the Thornton Trojans starting to scatter across the court, and the PSD Stars getting hype. Number 24 getting ready to serve to the Thornton Trojans. 24 with quite an aggressive set to the middle. And quite a smackdown from number 9 on the Thornton Trojans, starting off strong. And it's these early plays that will decipher and show which team is dominant within these 5 games and who will take this match home. And from these early games, we will really see and decipher what kind of play style both of these teams have. And right now we see the PSD Stars struggling quite a bit to kind of cope with Thornton's kind of aggressive attack so far. Josie, any thoughts?
I think that we're starting off a little rough, but we can definitely make it in there.
Yeah, I think it's just part of that warm-up. You know, both these teams were warming up, and we see a ball go out of bounds, and that makes it 2-1 in the first game with Thornton Trojans leading. Number 9 for the PSD Stars takes the ball. Quite a weak serve and does not make it over, hits the net. Quite a rough start considering the record that they're coming off of 7-2, like I said, making them a 78% win rate. Let's just hope that PSD can show what they've always shown. And it seems that we have quite a bit of miscommunication and lack of, actually. We just have some gestures and nods willing, but no physical yelling or talking like we see on the Trojans. Like I said, it's these early plays that will show us the play style of each team and how to cope with that. Number 5 with the set. Number 23 with quite an aggressive hit. Back to number 5 in the middle. Number 24 sets it up. Number 7 to the middle. 23 takes on the Trojans. 25 from the Trojans. And it gets caught in number 33's head. Interesting. And now we see the Trojans lining up number 26, their server. And we also see a net ball from them too, unable to get it over. Quite an interesting and rough, rocky start. Number 30 subbed out for Trevor Ball and number 18. Some form of communication going on in the court. Number 5 heads back. Gerda's unable to make it over the net. Wow, this is interesting. Seems like both teams are struggling to hold up their weight right now. 6-2 for the Trojans so far. Number 11 subbed out for number 8. Number 32 ready to serve on the Trojans. Quite a lob pass to the middle. 24, 23 with an aggressive set, or spike, excuse me, into the bottom left of the court. Now PSD is playing quite aggressively now. We've kind of seen that shift in dynamic occur quite early. I didn't expect it to happen this early, but we saw the Trojans going really hard in the beginning, but it seems like after these miscommunications have been kinked out, PSD is getting back, and point for the PSD Stars. I believe it was a double touch for Trojans. Number 23 out to set. Number 23 with quite a high serve into the middle of the Trojans. Number 26 puts it up. Number 23. Number 5 saves it. 24 over, and it's faked. And quite an impressive but soft fake. Just goes to show that once you get into the heads of these players, anything can happen. It's not all about strength and skill. Number 23 up with a set. Ref scores it for the Trojans. Currently 7-5. If you're just tuning in, this is the boys varsity volleyball game with the Trojans and the PSD Stars, broadcasted live from Fossil Ridge High School. Currently, the Trojans are 7 points, and the PSD Stars have 5. Quite a rough, rocky start. Any thoughts?
I think that our team is definitely good, but we just have to work more as a team.
Yeah, 100%. I believe that once we get these miscommunications and we start actually communicating more, because we're seeing not much communication. We're seeing kind of huddles with, number 5 and number 23 kind of in the back middle, kind of segregated, and we see huddles in the front. The teams, they just seem kind of disconnected right now. Not a lot of action. so far. Chasing goes up for a fake. 23 puts it up from the Trojans. And number 9 with that amazing return. And it's put out of bounds, scoring it for the PSD Stars for that play. Number 7 for the PSD Stars, beginning a set. And I feel like we're starting to see some of that communication come back in now that the game is kind of warmed up. Both the teams have warmed up. They've figured out that PSD is the aggressor and Thornton's kind of holding back. And although that tactic is working for them, I believe that throughout all these games, that tactic will fail for them. Although quite an amazing block. And number 5 leaves it. And currently now it is tied 8-8. PSD number 8, out to 32, 23, quite a save, back in, over, 23, 26, number 23, number 24 puts it up, number 9 smacks it down, number 32 unable to get it, and that scores for the PSD Stars. That puts the score up to 9-8 for the PSD Stars.
Looking at some of our athletes, number 24, James Filler, has 186 assists this season so far.
Yeah, we see number 24, or hopefully, yeah, we see number 24 there, the red bandana. James, he's kind of our star player, up-and-coming rise. As Josie said, 186 assists so far, and 482 attacks in his whole season so far, 40 digs. Quite an impressive career. Not the best on the team, but it's definitely the fastest growing set of numbers we see on the team so far. Now coming back to the game, we see number 8 go out. Morris over to 23. Blocked by James, actually. Number 32 puts it up for the Trojans. Number 23 up for the Trojans. Number 9. Double touch, I believe. No. Number 24, over, 32 over. 26 attempts to spike it, but is blocked by a combination between 33, and 24. They seem unhappy as we got a boo, but they were quickly washed out by all the fans for the PSD Stars cheering for them. And I feel like we see that amazing aggressive play style of the PSD Stars really come into play. Thorn kind of sitting on their butts, doing not what to do. The coach doesn't seem very happy as the score is 12-8 for the PSD Stars. We have just over 40 seconds left in this break. In the huddles, I mean, we can imagine what we were discussing. I bet PSD, they're saying not to get too cocky because of that rough start. It kind of humbled them down, brought them back. And then we see Thornton over there. The coach seems very passionate, even aggressive in some ways, obviously, because they're trailing by 4, even with their amazing start compared to PSD.
I definitely think this game is going to be really close and a good game.
Yeah, of course. It's a really good matchup, crosstown rivalry, and a better than expected turnout for these types of games. So really excited to see. And the break is over. Amazing serve. 23, confused, but puts it back. And it's given to the PSD Stars. And I believe that should put the score at 13-8. There we go. PSD really coming back and showing what they're all about, determination. The PSD Stars is made up of the whole Poudre School district, so not just one school compared to Thornton. Quite a lot of action. 24 puts it up. Amazing spike from 33. What a play. We really see James. I think we were right in choosing him as our star player. We see James really good assists from James, and he is the reason that these points exist.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're going to be able to come back and just take the lead.
Yeah, and while Josie was talking, Thornton did score 14-9 now the score is. Thornton still trailing by 5. Obviously, team morale is still very high for both teams. Obviously, PSD Stars riding off of those 5 points. Number 23 brought down to his knees. Number 23 for the Trojans puts it over. Number 26 just barely, sort of a miscommunication, but recovers it by Gertis, and it's unable to get hit over. I think he was anticipating that to go way higher, but he jumped up and he was unable to get it.
Looking at some of the players on Thornton's team, Josh Rivera has
So Josh Rivera has 0 assists and 0 assists per set. Now moving back over to the game, we see James move back. Number 24, we'll really get to see if he's good in all aspects and not just assists. You know, players are supposed to be good all around. They don't just, I mean, they have their strengths, but an overall team player is what we look for. Wow, amazing spike from number 9 on the Trojans. And it was actually hit to James, but James was unable to get that. But we can't be too hard on him. That was an impressive spike by number 9 on the Trojans. The Trojans trailing by 4 points. PSD is still riding high off of that 4-point lead, and that gap hasn't really changed much. It's kind of stayed consistent. Gertis putting it up to James. James up to 23, and it's spiked, and that is ruled in favor of the PSD Stars. Wow, what an amazing play. Number 9 puts it up over to 18 on the Trojans. 26, 9 again. 24 James, 23 over to 23. Communication is lacking, and we see them stumbling around. James puts it up. Amazing spike, but great recovery from 25 on the Trojans. 26 on the Trojans, weak spike. 24 puts it up. Number 7, amazing spike. And number 1 is brought down to his knees on the Trojans. What an amazing power play.
So far, the PSD Stars are 4th in state and Thornton is 14th in state. So we'll see where this game goes and maybe things may move around.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, people just assume that, you know, with that big of a gap, and what a play by number 11 while I was talking there. It was not a reach, interestingly, but it was ruled in favor of Thornton, bringing the score to 17-11 with Thornton trailing by, my apologies. The score is now 17-12 with Thornton trailing by 5 points. Like I was saying, those statistics don't really matter when it comes to the game. You know, 10 places might seem like a lot, but with the amount of schools in Colorado, it's really drowned out by just the amount of skill that these teams can put up. And it doesn't really matter, like I was saying. We can see some upsets like we've seen in our basketball games and football games for Fossil Ridge, just speaking from experience. And so they shouldn't get too cocky riding off of this 6-point high. But now we have Gertis going back, and hopefully he can give a good center lob. Gertis preparing for what kind of serve he's going to do. We see some segregated groups, some isolated groups forming on this. Forming on the court. We don't really see that with Thornton, and that might be a strength. You know, looking at it, it doesn't look like it's good because it disconnects everyone. But we see 23 put it up, blocked by 18. 23 lobs it over 5 onto the floor. 24 puts it up, spiked, and the red flag is waved, and it is ruled in favor of the Thornton Trojans, closing that gap to 5 points. But they're still trailing by quite a huge margin. Relatively looking at the score. Interestingly, like I was saying, those groups that they were forming, that might be a strength, you know. It might allow them to coordinate separately. Just like that, like I was saying, you know, 18 goes up for the fake hit and 23 goes up, and not telling the others about it might allow them to do their own thing. We don't really see that with Trojan, and that might be a weakness for them, we've seen some blunders from the Trojans when they're really packed up in the court.
Looking at some more stats, the PSD Stars hitting percentage is 0.135 and Thornton's hitting percentage is 0.263.
Yeah, that's really interesting. The hitting percentage for the PSD Stars is pretty much half of what the Thornton Trojans is. But I feel like that doesn't really matter because once the power is put down, it doesn't really matter how many hits you have. It's just what you do with each hit. Bringing the score to 19-14, still a 5-point trail. Trailing by 5 points, the Trojans are. And this is, like I said earlier, game 1, Stars versus the Trojans. Things have kind of calmed down a little bit. Number 23 serving for the Trojans. Straight to the middle to Gerdes again. Number 24, James. Number 18, Baldwin. Into the back left corner of the court where nobody was present, giving them another point, bringing that gap up to 6 points. Interestingly, we don't see much coordination between even the players and the coaches for the Trojans. And it might just be, you know, a set it and forget it kind of thing, tell them what to do and just let them play just dynamically. But with the Stars, we're seeing a lot of communication, like right here, the huddles, the isolated huddles of 2-3 people, trying to figure out what to do, and it's going in their favor. And, you know, they might just be better players, but I feel like that communication is a huge part because that talent's put to waste. And what a play, but it's ruled for the Thorntons. That would have been great, but it was ruled out of bounds. They're closing that gap now, only 4 points, with the Thornton Trojans 16 points and the PSD Stars with 20 points. 24 puts it up to Baldwin, 18. 32 brought to the ground, but unable to get it up. 32 attempts, and it's ruled in favor of the PSD Stars. Once again, bringing that gap up to 5.
Some more players to watch on the PSD Stars would be James Filler, Isaac Duran, and Thomas
Weslow. Yeah.
Weslow.
Quite a huge lob up, kind of an attempt to save whatever was left of that play, but I'm sure they can afford to let one go. I might have spoken too soon there, but we'll find out soon enough. 21-17 currently. The PSD Stars leading in this varsity volleyball game. Game 1 out of 5. Winner takes all match. We see some sort of communication going on the court. The game has been halted, though. I'm not sure what's going on. 23 talking to the ref on the Trojans. And Coach Savage taking advantage of that time for the PSD Stars to regroup the players. 33 taking charge of the group. Over to 23, 24. 33 puts it up, 23 on the Trojans, puts it up, 26 on the Trojans, saved barely, back to Gerdes. Amazing play. There was some miscommunication there, but great block by number 9, and it's given to the PSD Stars. That brings the point gap back up to 5 points for the PSD, and I'm assuming that concludes game 1.
So looking at this graphic, the PSD Stars record is 7-2, and the Thornton Trojans is 5-2. Thornton has an advantage in kills at 371. PSD has an advantage in kills per game at 8.2. The PSD Stars also takes it in the kill percentage at 38.4. The Trojans take it back at attack attempts with 1,478. And then the PSD Stars take it for the attack errors and hitting percentage.
Yeah, really interesting. Like I said, 7-2 for the PSD Stars, or like Josie said, 7-2 for the PSD Stars, 5-2 for the Thornton Trojans, which kind of gives them pretty much the same win percentage. Trojans take it in the kills, but the kills per set is really what matters, and PSD has that advantage in the bag. And that is out. Ruled to the PSD Stars. And we also have the lower attack errors too, which is better, which we can actually see on the court. We're seeing some fumbles and some blunders by Thornton, and we're seeing less of those. Although we are seeing some of those, we're seeing less of those. We're seeing a more composed team for the PSD Stars. Quite an amazing spike from number 18 on the Trojans. This is going to be a really interesting night because we saw that rocky start from PSD, but now they've climbed back and they're actually surpassing Thornton in every aspect of the game so far. And I'd say right now I'd rule probably in favor of PSD, but they might tire themselves out, and Thornton might take advantage of that. Even though they have a surplus of players, they're putting their best foot forward right now. And an amazing play by number 23 on the PSD Stars. That brings the score up to 24 and 18, a 6-point surplus for the PSD Stars. And now we're just waiting on number 9 to serve it. Crowd getting wild. Whoa, just hit the antenna. And by the way they're reacting, the point does go to PSD Stars, bringing that point lead up to 7 points. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of game 1. Like I said earlier, we're going to be playing 5 games tonight. And winner takes all of those 5 games. Best out of 5, obviously, so whoever takes those 3 wins. We have a 3-minute break between the game. And if you're just tuning in now, I'd like to remind you guys that this is the boys varsity volleyball game live from Fossil Ridge High School, broadcasted by Sabercatsports. The PSD Stars are taking on the Thornton Trojans in an intense varsity volleyball game. And if you're new here, welcome to the show. I'm Deep Shaw, and I'm here with my co-host, Josie Brown. So, the graphic you see on screen currently is a head-to-head between 2 of the up-and-coming players on both teams. We have Rafael Urbina and James Filler on PSD Stars. Number 24 on the PSD Stars, number 23 on the Trojans.
Some of their stats would be assists. So James Filler has, they both have
8.1 assists per set, so nothing too fancy there. However, the big taker is that James Filler is second on PSD with 11 aces, and Rafael is first on Thornton with 7 aces. So although James does have more, he is second on PSD, and he does have more. And even though Rafael is first on Thornton, he has only 7 aces, which is going to be interesting to see actually play out in the game when these 2 go head-to-head. As far as kills, Rafael seems like more of an aggressive player with 32 kills, while James Filler, although this kind of contradicts what we've seen so far, as we've seen James in sort of an aggressive and more upfront state. But interestingly, Rafael has had 32 kills. But then we also see that assist come into play with 186 assists. Most of these points and most of the assists are James is responsible for most of the assists in the game and most of these points, while Rafael only has 154. So still impressive, but I feel like the overall player between these 2, I would give it to James Filler. And keep a key eye out for both of these players, as it's something to see.
Probably be terrible. But
Just literally just say what's happening.
I can try.
Okay.
Try and help me though. Okay? All right, now we got number 1 about to serve.
Oh! It's the flag woman. That is scored to the Thornton Trojans. Hopefully we see that turnover again. Hopefully we see some more action in this one. There was a lot more action at the second half of that game compared to the first. But hopefully now the Trojans realizing that PSD is a bigger threat than what they seem, and they're putting their best player forward.
And it doesn't make it over the net, so that is going to be the Trojans' point again, as number 1 is about to serve it again. He serves it. The PSD Stars receive it. And
tapped over. Kind of a push, but Trojan gets the point, making it 3-0. Wow. Quite a stark contrast. Now, I don't know if that's a player change or if they're getting too cocky, but we do see a fumble from Trojan also.
I don't know. It seems to be that the PSD Stars kind of start off bad, and then as they get going, it gets a lot better for them.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree. I feel like they just got to get warmed up. And we're seeing most of the same players. Number 9 attempts to make it, but it's giving a number 3 on the bench. And, yeah, I mean, it's just like Josie said, we see, you know, kind of the engine fire up and kind of warm up. And that's when it reaches peak performance.
Number 26 serving to 7, back to 7 by 24. Nice spike.
Whoa, amazing play. Makes contact with the ceiling. Amazing block. Given back, number 23.
As he hits it over the net, the Trojans get it. And looks like it's going to be the PSD Stars point by hitting the net.
Wow, what an amazing play. Quite, we haven't seen anything like it. And hopefully we get more of that, you know. We get some of those power shots, some more interesting action going on as Gerdes goes back to serve.
Number 5 serving. It looks like number 18, Trevor Baldwin, enters the game.
Amazing serve.
The Trojans pass it around. Oh, and blocked by the PSD Stars.
Whoa. Quite an attempt to save it by Gerdes, but I think that ball was just way too fast and had such an attack angle, such a low attack angle, almost pretty much flat to the ground. He was unable to get his hand out in time, and he only got one hand out, which is already kind of bad enough as it is. But a good attempt from Gerdes. As number 11 comes in, number 11 actually, my apologies, goes out. And number 18 stays in the game. Number 18 lining up to serve for the Trojans.
He hits it over. Looks like it touches the net, and that's going to be the Trojans' point. The the PSD Stars pass it around. Good spike by number 18.
What a play. 24, back to 5. 5 gets it over, and 1 on the Trojans makes contact. 26 on the Trojans with an amazing spike, but it's just barely out, I believe, and that scores in favor of the PSD Stars. PSD Stars trailing by 3 points, unfortunately, for them, with Trojans having 6 points. And this is something very similar to game 1 we saw. Miscommunication. We see Trevor apologizing, number 18, but quickly forgiven as they don't have any time to spare.
Number 23 serving it to the PSD Stars. Number 23 receives and passes it to 24 as he fakes a set and puts it over the net.
It seemed like a miscommunication. Ooh, that was close. Number 18 saved that, Trevor. James puts it up. We see those assists come into play. 23 with the amazing spike. Thomas with the amazing spike. Oh, my Lord. And that's our power player, number 23, Thomas Wieslow. With only 4 serve errors and 83 serve attacks and 58 kills and 29 attack errors and 131 attacks with a plus .221 hitting percent rate. He is an overall very exceptional player, very tall, has that height to his advantage. He's able to get over the net basically. His vertical is amazing.
While Deep was talking, number 7 serves it over, or tries to serve it over the net, but unfortunately it didn't make it, so the Trojans got the ball. Good save by the libero. Oh.
That's, I don't know. Seemed like a double touch. Whoa, 1, 2, 3. Amazing
Good save
hit,
by Trevor
but
Baldwin.
amazing save, yeah, Josie.
Looks like,
Put into the net, but saves. Up by 23, up by 24. 9, can he do something? Soft lob. 26 for the Trojans. Barely saves
good
it.
Save.
Saves
Good
it, puts
save.
it up, and it's into the stands, caught by Coach Menifee. Wow, what a play. I hope he gets to see more of that, you know, more edge of the seat stuff. It's been very basic so far.
Yeah, a lot of action. Or
Yeah.
not a lot of action, so hopefully we can get to see more of that.
Hopefully we'll see some stuff.
Oh, blocked by the Trojans, but good idea by the PSD Stars.
Yeah, I think they just need to really work on their execution. Like Josie said, they have amazing ideas for their plays, but they're just unable to execute them very well. As we come to a 1-minute break, the Trojans are currently leading with 6 points. Stark contrast to game 1, where the Trojans were leading by, or where the PSD Stars were leading by 6 most of the time on average. And hopefully we'll get to see them warm up again and make that comeback like they did in game 1. Bringing that graphic back up on screen, as we've seen both players play a little bit, we really see that James is, really doing well in assists, and we really see that number really taking shape, and that number is probably going to hit 200 by the end of this game.
Yeah, by looking at those stats, I think that James has really proven himself during this game.
We haven't seen much of Raphael, actually. Although we see him appear onto the court now, hopefully we'll be able to see some of his kills. We'll be able to see some of his aggressive play action. As the break comes to an end, PSD Stars actually trailing by 6 points. Thornton kind of riding off of that 6-point high, but it's sent out of bounds by PSD Stars, I believe, which puts the score up to 5-10, still for the Thornton Trojans.
So now the PSD Stars are going to be serving it. Looks like we got number 8. They sent it over.
There's Raphael.
Now the PSD Stars got the ball back. Oh. Good point by
number 24, James, who is our star player. It seemed like that there was a plan set, but James kind of improvised. And I feel like we're seeing a lot of that, a lot of improvisation, especially by James. Quite an amazing block and dampening by James. So he's able to recover that ball for 9, but 9 is unable to do anything with it. Putting the score up to 6-11 for the Thornton Trojans. Like I said earlier, James is kind of improvising. He's really good at this improv stuff. You know, we have these plans, like I said, they isolate themselves and congregate and talk and decipher what they're going to do. But we see James really improvising and taking matters into his own hands like that last play. Number 9, just barely.
Good block by the Trojans.
Put back up. Number 24, James. Like I said, as I was talking about his improv skills, he manages to jump in and save the day. He is our Superman. And now we see James actually go back to serve. Let's see what kind of server he is. And it seems like he did fumble that one, but I will not be too harsh on him because he has done an exceptional job for his team with his skills.
We got number 1 serving on the Trojans. Looks like he hit it out of bounds, so that would be the ball to the PSD Stars.
Score currently 8-12 for the Trojans still. So they are.
Number 9 serving it. Oh, and good spike by the Trojans, but the PSD Stars got that. And looks like the Trojans hit it out.
And the PSD Stars get it. I feel like PSD is really banking on these out of bounds in the second game. We're not really seeing that aggressive play style. They're really being reserved. I don't know if that's a logistical thing that the coach told them to do or if that's just a decision they made on their own. As number 9 serves it, we see them kind of tamed down. We see some miscommunication from James, 24-33, but it's fine. It seems like they're quickly forgiven. Number 33 kind of dragging himself across, but he's being hyped up by his other teammates. Not to worry too much.
We got 26 on the Trojans serving it. And, looks like a little bit of a miscommunication by the PSD Stars.
Yeah, that's right, Josie. It seems like the communication is actually falling apart now. We're seeing back-to-back blunders as the score goes to 9-14 for the Trojans with a 5-point gap. Number 7 receives it. Number 24, James, puts it up. Miscommunication again.
I definitely feel like after that one play that our communicating has just been really off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if something just clicked or something just disconnected. There seems to be an actual disconnect, and they're being told off by the coaches that, you know, this communication, it can't happen. It's got to happen. This communication's got to happen.
Yeah.
We did assume it was going to be miscommunication, but it seems to be a lack of communication between these players, and it's really interesting to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe the coach will help them out a little bit.
So now we can just imagine what they're saying. The roles have been flipped now compared to the huddle we had in game 1. PSD being told off by Savage, and Svitala is kind of just pacing around, kind of wondering what to do as we have 20 seconds left. If you're just joining us, this is the boys varsity volleyball game, where the Thornton Trojans are taking on the PSD Stars at Fossil Ridge High School. Currently we are on game 2 out of 5. And best of 3 will take that match.
Looks like we got number 26 serving for the Trojans. Number 5 receives as number 24 hits it up, and the hit by number 9.
Amazing
good
spike
block
by number 25 on the Trojans, but like Josie said, amazing counter block by number 23. And I feel like that huddle did really do something. You know, we're starting to see some actual plays come into effect. We're starting to see less miscommunication. We're starting to see some more harmony between these players.
Looks like we got number 18, Trevor Baldwin, coming in for number 8. Good set. Number 23 puts it up. Good effort by number 9, but we unfortunately
100%.
didn't get it.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the ball to the Trojans.
They seem to be joking about it. It's good that they're keeping the atmosphere light, even though this is such an intense game. As the score drops down to 10-16 in favor of the Trojans, with a 6-point gap between the two. Quite a stark and actually opposite score. Stark contrast and literally an opposite score of what we saw at game 1 at this time. Hopefully the Stars can pull themselves together, because whatever they're doing right now ain't working. And whatever they're doing in game 1 was working. Let's just see if they can go back and figure out what they were doing. Find that chemistry once again.
Looks like the Stars are getting a lot of their points from the Trojans hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, 100%, Josie. Like I said earlier, they're actually really starting to bank on those. And Gerd is brought to the ground in an attempt to say that. But like I said, these Trojans are actually also doing an amazing job with those fast, long, and kind of low parallel to the ground spikes from their court to the back of their PSD's court.
Yeah. Looks like number 23 is serving it.
23, this is Raphael we're looking for. And now we have both star players on the court.
Good hit by number 7, but unfortunately it hits the net.
The score is put 11 to 18, bringing that gap up to 7 points. That's the biggest gap we've seen so far in this game tonight. And yeah, I don't know what to say. What do you think, Josie?
Well,
any hopes? Any doubts? Any hopes? Any thoughts? Brought into the stands.
I definitely think that the Stars can pull it together. They just got to communicate better and kind of just pull it together.
100%.
All right, we got number 23 once again serving it. Looks like he's been getting a lot of points off of his serves. Looks like the PSD Stars touched it as he thought it was going out, so that's going to be another point for the Trojans.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're really, I wouldn't say falling apart, but they're starting to crumble on their own foundations that they built in game 1.
Yeah.
You know, people assumed it was going to be, 4th versus 14th in the state. It's going to be quite an easy game. But like I said at the very beginning, we've seen some very big upsets for Fossil. Although there's one play is rolled in favor of PSD Stars, as number 7 just taps it over the net and is bottomed out by the Trojans. But yeah, you can't ever you can't ever rely on those stats of 4 versus 14th in the state. As clearly we're saying, it's quite the polar opposite. Just looking at the score, you think those stats are flipped. Number 23, Raphael, team player, puts it down, and number 23 and number 9 come together, and we see that assist come in for number 23, Raphael.
Great hit by number 9.
The score is put to 21-12 for the Trojans.
25 serving it over. 24 up for the set. Looks like the PSD Stars got the point.
The gap is brought back down to 8 as the score is 13-21, but one of the biggest gaps we've seen in this game so far.
8 and 33 going in for 18 and 5. Let's see what they can do. Number 8 serving it. The Trojans receive it. Ooh,
whoa,
good hit
what
by
a spike.
26.
And the point is overruled and is flipped back over to the PSD. I believe it was because the antenna was hit and contact was made, but Raphael seems very forgiving, and I would be too, because they have such a big lead, such an amazing, incredible lead that was kind of unprecedented looking at game 1. But yeah, the Trojan players obviously look very happy, to their credit. They should be. The PSD Stars seem to be struggling. You know, people are taking assertive action as it's served in. Serve is saved by number 8. 24, 33, 8. Amazing spike. And it's ruled in favor of the PSD Stars, I believe. Oh, no, the Trojans. I believe it was a double tap.
Looks like we got 5 going in for number 8 again.
32 brought back. Amazing serve by 32. 24 just taps it over. 32, 9 with the spike. 5 saves it, up to 24. 23 saves it. 23 on the Trojans, puts it up. 9 puts it up, touched, and it's put out of bounds. Wow. So pretty much a 9 if we see the score change here. Yeah, a 9-point deficit for the PSD Stars, which, I mean, any thoughts, Josie?
I don't know. I think that the PSD Stars can pull it together, but I don't know if they're going to get this one. I think this one might go to the Trojans.
Yeah. And, you know, it might be a tactic, you know, let them have this game, but let's feel out the Trojans. Let's see how they play. You know, they had game 1 to do that, but now game 2, really they're figuring out their strategy. And I can't speak for the coaches, but you know, this might be a good thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I definitely think the Stars thought they had it after that first game, but looks like the Trojans are coming back.
100%.
Looks like we got a 1-minute break.
Yeah, in this 1-minute break, coming down to just around 50 seconds now, I just wanted to reiterate that this is the boys varsity volleyball game live at Foss Ridge High School. The Thornton Trojans taking on the PSD Stars. Currently leading is the Thornton Trojans with 23 points, and currently losing is the PSD Stars with 16 points. This is game 2 out of 5. Currently PSD has won 1 game, and this game seems to be quite a stark and pretty much opposite contrast. Pretty much opposite game and stark contrast to what we saw in game 1 with the PSD Stars kind of struggling and failing to live up to their standards that they put up in game 1. Maybe they set the bar too high, Josie. Maybe they're trying to live up to that bar and try the same thing out, but Trojans felt them out, and now they're replying with, you know, this comeback of their own.
Yeah, I definitely think that with being 4th in state, they definitely thought they would get this game.
Uh-huh.
Number 24 serving it to the Trojans. Looks like the Trojans received a nice set, and looks like the point went to the Trojans.
And we're seeing some anger actually boiling up between number 33, who was unable to return that point, 23, and 24, who's our star player, James Filler. It's interesting to see that, though. 24 rushes over, quite big miscommunication. I feel like 33 is kind of scared. 23, Raphael, who is our star player, touches it out of bounds on the other side of the net, which
looks like the point goes to the
PSD
Stars.
Yeah.
We got number 9 serving it over to the Trojans. Good set to number 7. Unfortunately, number 7 got blocked, I believe, by number 23, which means the point will go to the Trojans. Another, oh. I think that was the end of game 2.
I believe so, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of game 2. Stay tuned though. Thornton takes this game as we get a 3-minute break. Thornton is currently, the score up is 1-1. And as we move on to game 3 in just about 2.5 minutes, the PSD Stars taking game 1 with an aggressive play, but then countered by the Trojans in game 2 as they were felt out and their strategy was cracked.
Looks like we're starting game 3.
Hopefully we can see the PSD Stars come back and retake this game just like they did in game 1.
PSD Stars already got the first point in game 3, looking like 24 is about to serve.
Yeah, hopefully that trend stays up. Although
24 serves it over, and it looks like something happened, and it goes to the PSD Stars.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there either, but I'm just happy we got the point. Beginning of game 3, let's hope, let's pray and hope that the PSD Stars can bring that number of games they won up to 2. Currently, it's 1-1. PSD took game 1 and Trojans took game 2. Miscommunication.
Good save by 24.
Yeah, amazing save. But an amazing counter spike by number 9, who we've seen already spike 1 or 2 times in combination with Raphael, who is the assist king on their team. We're just seeing some normal play, nothing out of the blue, but hopefully we start to see some of those out of the blue plays that really spice up the game. 24 puts it up.
Oh!
23 brought to the ground. 23 on the Trojans, actually. Good sportsman. Helping him up. But that is Thomas, the Mr. Vertical himself. 6'5", I believe. Huge, huge man. And he really takes advantage of that height.
Looks like number 1 served that and unfortunately went out of bounds. The point will go to the PSD Stars.
So the score is brought 3-2.
Definitely looks like the PSD Stars are doing better.
Yeah, 100%.
Spiked by, I believe, number 26, which it went on the line, which will be their point, I believe. Yeah, so point for the Trojans. 26 serving. Oh, nice hit by number 9. 23 taps it over, and the Trojans get the point.
We're seeing some good sportsmanship on the PSD Stars especially.
Yeah. Number 26 serving it again. Received by the PSD Stars and hit over by number 23.
32, 23. 5, Gertis saves it again. 24, James puts it back up. Number 9 with a spike to number 26. 23 puts it up. 24, 23. Number 7, number 25, 23.
Back to 25.
Number 5. Wow. Quite a longer play here.
What a good volley.
Yeah. I think the team just got exhausted, and they were starting to fall a little bit. But that was really, really good play. I hope we see some of that.
Number 18, Trevor, going in for number 33. Looks like 5 is going to be serving it.
5 misses the serve. Unfortunate, but, I mean, he's just got to get his head back in the game. You know? We've seen a lot of fumbled serves from PSD itself, and so they just have to scope out one really good server, and I think just stick with him like Trojans are doing, excuse me. Score currently 5-4. Trojan retakes the lead, but only 1 point away, so not that big of a gap.
Good
15.
hit.
Yeah, 15
Blocked.
with an amazing, amazing spike. Sorry, Josie.
No, you're good.
You were going to say.
Blocked by the Trojans and unfortunately hit out, so that would be point for the PSD Stars.
Number 23 serves over to 25 and 26. And, ooh, ruled to the Trojans, I believe, yes. I believe that was on our side of the net, and we kind of fumbled and dead-balled it. I feel like for every point we're getting, they're just keeping one ahead. They're always one step ahead of us. We've got to break that code. If they figured us out, it's time for us to figure them out.
Number 23 serving it.
5 and 23 go combined for the ball. Number 9 tries to go for the ball, but 23. Thomas, the power player, the vertical master, hits it out of bounds. So now Trojan takes that lead by 2.
Number 23 serving it again. Yep, getting ready to serve it. As he served it, it looks like it went out. PSD Stars got the point, I believe. And it looks like
7 just gets the ball. I feel like, yeah, we're starting to see that isolation again. Those groups are recongregating. And hopefully that worked in game 1, so hopefully we'll be able to see that.
number 7 serving it for the PSD Stars.
7 straight out to 18 in the Trojans. Fake spike, and it works. Gerda's actually taken aback at what just happened.
number
25.
serving it for the Trojans.
24.
Oh,
9.
good
Amazing
hit and block.
hit. And it's ruled to the PSD Stars.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good hits by number 9, Isaac Duran, this game. He's definitely one of the main players on the team. We got number 8 serving it. As he hits it over, the Trojans pass it around.
24 puts it up.
Oh.
Amazing hit, but it's hit out of bounds and touched out of bounds by number 9. Bringing the score back up to 8-8. They're really keeping this game tight-knit, close together, which is much better.
Number 8 serving it again.
And he misses the serve.
Looks like it was short. .32 hitting it over to the PSD Stars. 24 fakes the serve and hits it over the net.
Amazing block, but it's ruled to the Trojans because that ball was touched and hit out by the PSD Stars. That brings the score up to 10 for the Trojans, while the PSD Stars stay at 8.
Number 32 hitting it over the net. Over to 24. Good hit by 33, but he touches the net, so that will be the Trojans' ball. Once again, number 32 serving the ball. Set by 24, over the net by 33 as the Trojans receive it. 32 passes it to, I believe, number 9, and is out of bounds by the PSD Stars, making it the Trojans' point.
Score is brought up to 12 for the Trojans, while PSD is stuck at 8. That gap just growing and growing and growing, unfortunately, for the PSD Stars. It seems to be a star dying out.
Looks like the PSD Stars are definitely doing better this game than the last game. The score is a lot closer, and I think that this game is going to be one of the better ones.
100%, I agree. Now we come to a 30-second break. We really saw Raphael come in with the assists, but not that much that game. We're actually seeing James consistently being kept in the game, which is interesting. I would have assumed they subbed him out because he's already played so hard in these 2 games. But I just think they can't afford to lose somebody so valuable to their team.
Yeah. Also, Isaac Duran, number 9 on the PSD Star, has been really hitting or spiking the ball over the net really well this game.
100%. And there's the buzzer sounded for the
break. So now we're going to be going again. 32 hits it over, and it goes out of bounds. Point to the PSD Stars.
Yeah, I think it's time for 32 to just take back and recalibrate. He's really fumbling these serves for Trojan. He's done an exceptional job so far, though, but I think it's time to just let him step back for a little bit. As the score is brought up to 9 points for the PSD Stars, but still trailing by 3 against the Trojans, who are at 12.
Yeah, number 24 serves it over.
Again, it's those hits. Those hits, they're fast, they're quick, they're effective, and they're parallel to the ground. You can't even measure that with a protractor or one of those triangles. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. Like, just standing up here looking at it, it's really hard to decipher how you would get that ball.
Number 1 serving it for the Trojans. 24 sets it.
Blocked, attempted, but double touch by 9. And yeah, it's ruled to the Trojans. Excuse me.
As number 1 serves it over again, number 5 gets the ball. Blocked by the Trojans, but unfortunately goes out of bounds, making it the PSD Stars ball.
I feel like they're really, really banking on these out of bounds right now. The majority of these points that they've earned have been given to us, the PSD Stars, excuse me, because of these out of bounds. They haven't really put in the work to get these points through spikes like they did in game 1. Although, missed spike, I don't know if that was intentional. It seemed like a mistake. But the score is brought up to 15 for the Trojans and 10 for the PSD Stars.
Yeah, especially with those blocks, you see the ball go out of bounds quite a bit. And number 6 serving, hits it out of bounds, will be the PSD Stars ball. Number 5 serving for the PSD Stars.
Amazing serve right to number 26. 23 puts it up. 25 with an amazing spike with 5. Saves it. 24 puts it up. Number 7 spikes it over. And it's unable to be saved by number 26. What an amazing play. That's one of the best plays I've seen so far throughout this whole match.
Yeah, good play by the PSD Stars along with the Trojans. Number 5 serving it once again.
Starting to crawl back. I think Shane Gertis has really gotten back into his element. 24, James, over the net. He's just about to hit that, but the team screamed at him to let it go, and they did. Shows to go, the chemistry has really tightened up between Thornton compared to what we saw in the first few hits of Game 1.
Number 18 serving for the Trojans. He hits it over. Oh, bad touch by number 9. That's going to be the Trojans' point.
Hey, and he immediately accepted that. You know, there's no fighting, there's no arguing. They know that every second matters and that no second cannot be wasted.
Again, served by number 16.
Soft tap, fakes him out. Sean Gertis puts it out.
Nice
amazing
hit
spike,
by number 7.
unable to be saved, and it's let. Oh, wow! Just barely in the line. Oh my God! And it's ruled to the Thornton Trojans. That was an amazing play. And they had, you know, luck, I believe, on their side because that ball was just happening to roll back into the court.
Oh, good point by number 18. Looks like as the PSD Stars passed that around, Trevor Baldwin got the point.
We see Coach Savage actually talking to the team.
Okay, number 3 serving it for the Trojans. Okay, oh, good play by the Trojans as I believe number 23 hits it back to them as they hit it over to get the point. Looks like just no one on the PSD Stars could get to it.
That's right.
Number 23, oh, looks like we're going to be having a 1-minute break.
Yeah, I think the dynamic is still the same compared to Game 2 and a stark contrast from Game 1. Savage and Switala are both trying to get these players back into the game. They're trying to get that right mindset of what they had in Game 1. They're trying to import that right back into the brains of these players. I don't know what's happening, though. They seem to be playing equally as good as they were in Game 1, but I feel like moving over to Trojan, they figured out what they've done and what they need to do to break that huddle, or to break whatever being said in the huddle on PSD Stars' side. Oh, my God. Number 8 doing like a somersault backflip. Just the amount of cockiness is actually going through the roof now. And, I mean, I guess you can't really blame them. They've taken, I assume to be now they're probably going to take this game as well, but I can't speak too soon.
Yeah, they have quite a lead with 7 points in the 3rd game. So we'll see what happens. Number 23 serving on the Trojans. Received by number 5.
24 tries to lob it over, but number 9 taps it up to 14. Amazing
Good
spike.
hit by number 7.
And that's just going to be one more extra fighting point added to that 13 to make it 14. But still the Trojans are at 20 with a 6-point deficit for the PSD Stars, which I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see.
Number 7 serving for the PSD Stars. Received by number 18 on the Trojans. Oh.
And Trevor Ball with number 18 unable to get it over. But hey, they're forgiving. They know, like I've been saying the whole time, they have not a second to waste as the score is brought up to 21 for the Trojans. With a 7-point loss, or 7-point trail for the PSD Stars. They know that they've got to put in everything they've got.
Oh,
17 unable to get up. I believe he just got he was just in miscommunication. He just didn't get up in time.
Yeah, I feel like he could have got there if he was just up and ready to go. Oh, good block by the Trojans, but it unfortunately goes out of bounds. It will be the PSD Stars point.
So that brings it up to 15-22. Still a 7-point trail. You know, it's simple economics. You gain one, you lose one. The value of these points is just being reduced the farther we go into this game. And for everyone we're getting, they're getting one. Everyone PSD is getting, everyone PSD is getting. Thornton's just coming back and getting one.
Oh, good play by the PSD Stars.
26 with an amazing spike. And 8 actually physically bewildered on the court. Didn't know what to do. Shane Gerdes, subbed in for number 8. Hopefully we'll get to see some amazing serves from him now.
The Trojans almost have a 10-point lead. Good block by the Trojans, but unfortunately goes out of bounds again.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's working, but I don't think it's effective. Their strategy that they're using of just setting them up for the Trojans to hit it out of bounds, it's just, I don't think it's effective, and it's not going to be effective enough for the amount of time they have left in this game. Although, I mean, it is working, and they're crawling back, but...
Oh, wow. Good hit by number 23.
Contradicting everything I've said so far, number 23, the vertical master, Thomas, comes in and spikes it heavily against Trojans 23, Raphael. But that brings the score to 23 for the Trojans and 17 for us. 32 receives the ball.
Oh! Looks like number 7 was hit in the chest before he could receive the ball.
Yeah, that chest just deflected it before he had time to react to it.
Number 1 serving for the Trojans. As he hits it over, looks like it was short and he hit the net. It's going to be the PSD Stars ball. Looks like number 9 is serving. Fake set by number 23 as he hits it over the net and gets the point for the Trojans. I believe that is the end of game 3 as the Trojans take it again.
Yeah, I don't know. If PSD can manage to crawl back for game 4, then hey, everything's left up to game 5. But looking how they're playing, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to score a win in game 4. So currently, if you're just tuning in now, we have just hit our game 3 break. We're about to move on to game 4 in 2.5 minutes. Thornton just took the last game. And PSD took game 1 and Thornton took game 2 and 3. So currently it is 2-1 overall record for this match.
I believe if the Trojans take the next game that they win it all.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's best of 3. So, you know, we saw a lot of aggressive playing from PSD and a lot of good playing from PSD, but they've just been fumbling and Thorns cracked their code and they've just been going off of that. I feel like PSD has been really banking on out of bounds throughout these past few games, and Thornton's just not been letting them get that, or at least letting them have it, but not letting them have it enough to let them win the game. I can only imagine what's happening in the huddles right now. Coach Savage is pretty livid. He's explaining to his team, PSD Stars, I'm assuming they've just got to get their head back in the game, figure out a new strategy, stop isolating themselves, stop with these miscommunications, while Trojans just being told, don't get too cocky, just keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, but hopefully we'll see a turnover and make this go all the way to game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are now entering Game 4 between the Thornton Stars, the PSD Stars and the Thornton Trojans.
First point goes to the PSD Stars as it was unfortunately hit out of bounds by.
Now, I would say that Huddle did something, but it's too early to tell because this is exactly how Game 3 went. You know, they got up on the lead, but then Thornton immediately just started being the aggressor and took over. But we're seeing some different play styles.
Good hit by number 23. Looks like the PSD Stars are taking a lead, but again, it's a little too early in the game to tell.
100% Josie, but that play was actually, it told us something. It told us that PSD was told to look out for weaknesses in their formation and take advantage of those. So you can see Thomas actually, like that again, you can see Thomas actually targeting and aiming the ball towards places where there aren't any players. And I think that's something they should have done a while ago, but hey, it's working right now, and it should be enough to get us through Game 4.
Yeah, the Stars are off to a good
3-0,
start.
yeah.
Oh,
very good. 4-0
another
actually.
point.
Yeah, I think they've cracked the code now. I mean, it's still too early to tell, but my confidence is getting up there.
Number 9 serving it once again. Looks like it was short. Oh, so I don't really know what just happened, but looks like the ball is back to the PSD Stars, so.
Yeah, that's couldn't decipher what happened there, but 5-0 for the PSD Stars. They've really, I feel like, recollected themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
They've already hit that average gap that they've been going for.
Oh.
Wow, yeah. Amazing spike. Number 26 for a spike. Number 9 returns it. Taken out, but brought back in. Number 7 sends it over to number 1. Number 1 over to 23. 23 over 2.
Oh.
And it's hit out of bounds. But hey, that's fine. They still have 4 points to bank on. So.
Yeah, first point for the Trojans. Maybe that will get them going a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because it only took one time for them to start scoring, and then they figured out what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Over to 24, but then it's blocked.
So the
maybe
Trojans again.
Yeah, maybe Josie's right. Maybe they figured out what they had to do, and they're taking advantage of that now.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, though. Hopefully we get to see his turn for the PSD.
Yeah. Another point for the Trojans as number 7 does not receive it and hits it out of bounds.
And just like that, their lead is slowly evaporating into nothing.
2-point lead for the Stars. Good hit by number 23. Number 26 receives it.
Out to 9. 23, but 23 spikes 23. It. Oh, my God.
Good hit by number 23. Looks
23,
like
that is Raphael, our player to watch.
Looks like we only got a 1-point lead.
Yeah, it took us so much effort to get these 5 points, and just like that, they've been incinerated. Oh, but 26 fails. Serve. Yeah, fails to send it over. So hopefully we see a change in dynamic there. 6-4 currently to the PSD Stars. And the Thornton is trailing by 2, but it's still too early to tell what's going to happen in this game. Shane Gerdes with an amazing serve, but it's out.
Again, the PSD Stars are only up by 1. Seems like this game might be good. Yeah,
it's a very close game. We're seeing that very tight-knit game, but now in favor of PSD instead of Thornton. So we'll just have to find out.
Number 18 serving it over.
Whoa, number 9.
Good save by the
Team
Stars.
quickly got hurt.
Oh, good block by number 18, Trevor Baldwin.
Yeah, I mean, number 9 got onto his feet really quickly. And by that time, Trevor had already taken care of business, sent that spike going crashing down into their side, giving us a 2-lead point. Sent up into the air, and a spike into the gray zone for the team. Wasn't covered, but that's just what we've been doing to Thornton, so it's about time they start to do that to us too.
Looks like number 23 is going to be serving it for the Trojans.
.23 with an amazing serve, over to 9. 24 puts it up. 18 fakes.
Good hit by number 7, but the Trojans received it.
Oh. Block, and I feel like that's the problem with 2 people trying to go up for a block without a third facilitator. They're just unable to recover that ball if it does end up going out of the range of those 2 players.
Yeah, definitely.
And they leave those 2 players to just do their thing, and they're kind of scared to, kind of interfere. But I think if they just get that 3rd player in there, then they'd be able to save a lot more balls. 7-7 currently. The game's once again tied up very quickly. 23 over to 26. Spiked.
Ooh,
and
good hit by number 9.
unable to save it. Yeah, Shane, he's just being sent to the back and is just being tossed around left, right, and center, trying to recover these balls. Coming at lightning speed, which is something just a man just can't do.
The Trojans up by 1.
Yeah.
Looks like this game is going to be close.
Yeah, still a 1-point difference, but now in favor of the Trojans. And if the trends tell us anything, they will start to take off very quickly, these Trojan guys.
Number 23 serving for the Trojans. He hits it over. Number 5 receives it. Number 4 sets it, and 18 hits it over. Looks like the Trojans are doing.
Miscommunication. We see first of many blunders, but very uncommon now. Now that I think about it, not a lot of miscommunication. I feel like they've really phased that out. With the game getting warmed up, and PSD's actually gotten a few more miscommunications. But overall, miscommunications have been down on both sides, but this is the first we've seen in a while. And that leads us to a tied game once again, 8-8.
Good
sent
block
back over by
24.
number 24. Yeah.
Oh, and
Saved,
a good
put up.
save.
Shane sends it over, and it's out.
Bounds.
Yeah, Shane, I feel like he's just being overworked, overstretched. He's being sent into so many positions while they're packing up front, and then the Trojans take advantage of that pack up at the front, send it to the back where Shane can't handle everything just by himself. Exceptional players, just these guys, they know what they're doing. Number 11 sends it up to number 24, number 24, over to 23. 18 saves it. 25 with the kick. 23 and chair in the way. 23 picks up the chair, but is that Raphael? Yeah, that is Raphael. 9-9 currently, so this game is actually quite close.
Oh my God, Breck has returned.
Number 8 serving for the Stars.
Number 23.
Oh, really good hit by number 9 on the Trojans.
Yeah, that takes the score up to 10-9 in favor of the Trojans.
Number 32 serving for the Trojans. Received by the Stars. Set by number 24. Hit by number 9. Looks like
26 sends it up. 23 recovers it.
Another hit by number 9.
Puts it over. Soft spike, try and fake it. Another spike, and there's the spike. But it's out. Raphael kind of overestimated and thought that Shane would go for it again, but this time he was smart enough not to, which is good. He is actively learning now. That brings the score to 10-10 in Game 4 of the boys varsity volleyball game with the Trojans and the PSD Stars going head-to-head at Fossil Ridge High School. Oh, wow. Ball bottomed out by number 25 on the Trojans. Raphael unable to save it, although a good attempt to stick his leg out, but that gives us this point. That gives the PSD Stars the point, and it brings the score to 11-10.
Yeah, number 24 serving again for the Stars.
Yeah.
As he hits it over, it's
wow.
actually not over, it's short.
Quite a weak serve there. Now, I mean, I'm not saying I can do any better, but you'd expect some sort of consistency from these players. But hey, I mean, whatever works, works. 11-11.
Number 1 hitting it for the Trojans. Good set by 24 and great hit by number 23. Just unfortunately, it was out of bounds.
Yeah, just barely.
Almost hit the line.
Yeah.
Trojans up by 1. The score is 11-12. Oh, unfortunately, the Stars could not make it over. So another point for the Trojans. Number 1 is going to be serving it again for the Trojans. As he hits it over.
Number 11 sends it out, but number 5 saves it. 23 sends it over. That was just kind of a safe play, 3 touches and you're out. But that's out by number 25 on the Trojans, bringing our score up to, I believe, 12-13. Yep, 12-13 with a 1-point lead for the Trojans.
Yeah, this has definitely been the closest game so far.
Yeah, for real.
Number 9, did not make it over, so that's
Subpar
going to
serve
be
straight into the middle of the net. Yeah, I feel like these
for
guys
the
are really tiring
Trojans.
themselves out.
Number 26 hitting it over for the Trojans. Good hit by number 17. Great spike by number 23. Looks like it will be the point for the Trojans. .26 serving it again for the Trojans. As he hits it over 5, receives it. Set by 24. Great hit by 23, but the Trojans block it.
Whoa, 17 pretty much in a limbo stance. Just trying to bank on Shane again, but Shane just cannot handle that. It's too fast, too fast.
Looks like we got a 1-minute timeout.
Yeah, currently, wow, the score has jumped to 16-12 in favor of the Trojans. We're seeing that trend again. You know, the Trojans just might take it in this game. And I feel like with the trends we've seen, because Trojan is up this far, the lead is just going to grow farther and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're going to stray. PSD is going to stray farther and farther away from trying to come back here. And so hopefully we'll see something. 10 seconds left. If you're just tuning in now, this is Game 4 of the boys varsity volleyball game between the PSD Stars and the Thornton Trojans, here broadcasted live from Fossil Ridge High School. Currently we are on Game 4 with the Trojans with the lead of 16 points compared to the losing 12 points of the PSD Stars.
Number 26 serves it over. Number 5 receives it.
7.
Good set by 24, but out of bounds by 7.
The coach of the Trojans, quick to show his opinion, and I believe at this point it's his right to do so.
Yeah, Trojans up by 5.
Yeah.
Number 26 hitting it over, received by number 9. 24 with the set. Good hit by number 7. Looks like the Trojans got it all under cover. Another good hit by 24. Good set. And good hit by 7.
Amazing
26
hit.
saves it. 32 over the net. Oh.
Attempted block. I don't know what they were going for there. Oh. And the ball is called dead, but in favor of the PSD Stars. Okay. Oh, my apologies, in favor of Thornton. So that brings the score to 18-12. Yeah, and I feel like now it's kind of it might be too soon to speak, but it might just be game over. Looking at the trends of the other games, once that lead grows, it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. Although, what an amazing save by number 9 from that spike. 23 gets the ball, and 26 sends it over 7. Over to 23, excuse me, tries to spike it. Once again, and it's in. And it's ruled for the PSD Stars.
Good hit by number 23. We got number 5 serving it for the Stars. Looks like it didn't make it over, but yeah.
I feel like at this point in the game, yeah, these serves are just going to kind of stay at that level of, it's like it's not as impressive as it used to be.
Yeah.
Currently 19-13 for the Trojans, and that lead is still growing. Now it's up to 6 points. Although that one was in, yeah, so that will be ruled in favor of PSD Stars, bringing our lead, or bringing their gap down to 5 points as opposed to 6, with 6 points for the PSD Stars compared to, for 14 points for the PSD Stars compared to 19 for the Trojans. Amazing spike into the gray zone once again. I feel like looking at this now, we're seeing a trend. These guys are packing up in the front. PSD Stars are packing up in the front, and then Thornton's just taking advantage of that, and they're not getting up for the block in time. The spike is super quick and super effective.
Yeah, it looks like number 9's going in for number 1 on the Trojans.
Number 23 getting ready for a serve. That is Rafa.
Good hit by number 7.
Yeah, amazing communication, actually. We're starting to see some of that come back. But will it be enough to save us in this game? Ruled in favor of PSD. That, I believe, brings the score to 15 for the PSD Stars and 20 for the Trojans, yes, with a 5-point gap between the two.
Number 7 serving for the Stars.
Oh, straight into the middle of the net. Yeah, I feel like these serves are just kind of going to be just that one thing that's happening over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Send over to Shane. Shane over to 24. James over to 25 on the Trojans. Number 8 ducks underneath it. Shane saves it. Amazing play. 24 James. Oh, spike. Amazing spike. That would have been a point for the PSD Stars, but it's blocked by number 23. What an amazing block, actually. I got to give him credit where credit's due. Number 22, or excuse me, the score is brought up to 22 for the PSD Trojans, while it has remained at 15 for the PSD Stars. But the serve fails to get over the net, so that should bring us up to 16. Yes, it does. So that point gap has now been reduced to 6 points as opposed to 7. Will we be able to get it back, Josie, do you think?
I'm not sure. I feel like this one might go to the Trojans.
Yeah, I think this might be, I think we might just have to call it quits now. But, hey, I mean, anything can happen. I just don't know how much time we have left.
Yeah. Another point for the PSD Stars, making the score 17-22. Number 8 serving for the Stars. I feel like number 8 has been one of the consistent servers on the team.
Yeah, 100%.
Number 24
Sends
hits
it
it over.
Almost gets it into a gray zone, but 23 Rafa gets it over.
Good
Amazing block, but was unable to keep it on their side. And just a tap, just a tap, and they get it over the net, and it's pretty much done. That play is pretty much done. 23 points for the Trojans now, as opposed to 17. So that's 6-point gap. I believe personally just going to keep growing and growing and growing.
Oh, as the Stars pass it around, we got good block by number 11 on the Stars. Looks like the point goes to the Stars as the Trojans fumbled the ball
Quite
around.
a bit of booing from the crowd, though, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But 18-23 now. Number 24 lines up for the serve.
Number 24 serving for the Stars as he hits it over.
Amazing
Number
serve to
32.
Spiked.
Oh, good block
saves,
by the
but
Stars.
Then it's also sent back up. 23 gets the ball. And there
Great
it is,
hit by
finally.
number 9.
Number 9 finally gets that spike back. He finally gets it into the gray zone, and they finally takes advantage of that power that he's been able to take advantage of in the early games. I think they're finally starting to crack. We come down to a minute break. If you're just joining us, this is the PSD Stars versus Thornton Trojans varsity volleyball game here at Fossil Ridge High School. Currently, the PSD Stars are trailing by just 4 points at 19 points. And obviously, Thornton has a lead of 4 points at 23 points. This is game 4 out of 5. Currently, Thornton has taken 2 games, and PSD has taken 1.
Yeah, PSD has definitely came up, though, from being down by so much. I feel like they're starting to make a comeback.
Very close game. I just don't know if it'll be, at the rate they're coming back, I don't know if it'll be enough to secure this game.
Yeah.
Team morale seems to be still high, though, but the team just seemed pretty mentally and physically drained.
Yeah.
But morale obviously still has to be high. Teammates hyping them up. So.
Number 24 serving for the Stars.
Yeah, 24 seen all throughout this game. James, amazing stamina and amazing consistent performance throughout the whole game. 26 saves it on the Trojans, but 24 sends it over. And it's spiked by 23, and it's saved. Spiked and blocked, and it just bottoms out. And I was saying, those 2 blocks, They just, if they put up 2 people to block, they got to get that third dude in there to try and save the game. Number 24, James, seems visibly very frustrated. Number 9 is trying to calm him down, but I'd be pretty frustrated too.
Number 1 serving for the Trojans. As he hits it over, it's received by number 9, set by number 24, and hit by 9, blocked by the
Amazing play
Trojans.
by the Trojans.
And I believe that's game.
Yeah.
Trojans took it all.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, PSD took it game 1. However, in a very, very interesting and pretty much flip comeback, Trojan took game 2, 3, and 4, which is kind of disappointing considering that PSD is 7-2 and Trojan is 5-2. And PSD Stars lead in team stats, and they both also came off wins, like I said earlier, but it is interesting to see. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast presented to you by Sabercast Sports News and Media. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.